Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Real Nelson podcast where we talk everything family, fitness, and relationship.
What is relationship, you ask? Relationships are friendships that turn into relationships like our marriage.
Yes, sir.
Hey, before we go any further, make sure you talk into the mic.
Boy, I'm super podcasty. Don't
You
start. We
have
got
it,
our
go ahead,
mics, new
sound-
mics.
Okay. All right. But before we go any
You know,
further, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
because we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff y'all going to want to comment on. So, the title of this episode is Juggling Family for the Holidays.
The holidays.
So, what's our reason for having this episode, boo?
So, the reason is for us to, you caught me off guard. See?
I said,
All right, look.
being prepared. Told you to go through your notes.
All right, so the reason is because we said we're juggling this, right?
Yes.
We're still kind of new, even though we've been married 10 years. We're still new at navigating having multiple parents, having multiple parents alive, and they're all in town, which is a blessing.
Yes.
But it could also be a humongous. I was finna say, I was finna combine tremendous and humongous. Humendous. It's a humendous challenge. I'm gonna just ride it out.
So can I say the word that you're not gonna say?
What?
It could be a headache. Ooh, who said it?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say that.
I know,
but
we don't want them to
is-
think that, but it can because it's stressful. Listen, I told you, if I'm gonna do a podcast, we're gonna keep it real. It could be a headache because we just what it is we stressing about what, and we
have to
genuinely want everybody
accommodate
to be
and
happy.
appease everyone,
Absolutely.
and the reason that is still really, really new for us is Dawn just moved back in 2018 for one, right? And so she's here all of the time. So in the past, it was a lot of leniency as to whether Dawn showed up, whether we showed up or not. But now that Dawn's here, it's ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
Then we had this this sweet spot of having babies. Harper was born.
And
It's
everyone
we understand if you can't do this,
we
you can't
get
take care of your baby, this, that. And now we got Zoe as another caveat to it.
But we coming out that sweet spot because
we out there.
getting older.
So
We were on water duty.
Yeah.
Remember, because I was
had to bring
pregnant
water.
and then Zoe was so new, they were like, you know what, just bring water. We don't stress you. My aunt called and said, listen, Zoe is about to be one. We starting to bump you up on the list. I know.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
We just used to have water duty and deviled eggs.
Yes, but that was, but we still had.
Harper was a little older.
Yeah. So let me just say this before we even jump into all that, because I have a real question for the people. A real question for the people. Do you all dress up just to go sit at somebody else's house? Like you go into your family house, you go into your friend house that you see all the time. But do
they
you,
know you.
I'm talking about dress up, not after 5 attire. But do you dress up like me and my family?
Yeah, that's what we do.
We do. But let me just say, we're not coming in where we're all one, the color wise, we want to complement each other. It doesn't have to, now granted, I'm gonna just say it right here. He stole my outfit. I chose this first.
No, I'm complimenting you.
And he stole my outfit. But I know you wasn't ready for that. But then let me say, I feel like it works for us to complement each other because I want us to look like a family, like a unit. I don't want us to look like Zoe. Zoe came off the street. Harper doesn't know us, and we just met each other. That's not.
We just kidnapped some kids.
I want our colors to complement, but I don't want them to be violent towards each other, right? And I'm gonna just say it. Are you ready? Your family used to the all one color. Remember? Didn't y'all wear neon green or something? It was like a lime green.
Jeez, I don't.
I had the picture in my head.
Traumatizing
your father and your little brother had on this neon suit.
Probably had a green.
And your mom and sister had on a neon dress.
No doubt, man.
I was like, he was putting the ring on. I was like, wait, before we do that, can we adjust that part a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, we our coordination was
on point. Do you hear me?
It was 70s band. You know what I'm saying? We had,
It was.
But it was but the thing about it was my mom's thing, and because my mom was this her
and she planned, honey.
Hey, it's
they weren't gonna slip nowhere,
Mom.
Yes,
but now we got our own. We can do our own thing, but we still gotta rock like this.
Absolutely,
we still gotta. So
what's your
here go our facts. We'll talk about traditions, the importance of traditions, right? Traditions reinforce your family values. Traditions provide a source of identity for the family or the family unit. They help families to bond because oftentimes, like one thing I do love about the holidays is the fact that um, it causes everybody, it allows us all to like kind of stop and take a break,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's like throughout the year we on a hustle and bustle of doing everything,
Mhm.
jobs,
Yeah.
careers, you know what I mean, being busy, and
Yep.
it's okay to be busy. And I think holidays allow us to actually take a break and not be so busy. And so it allows us to like actually see, you know,
Mhm.
our spouses, or go see our aunts that like been messaging me all year that we need to go see, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But it allows that. It creates lasting memories
Mhm.
for our children, you
Yeah.
know, and we're gonna talk more
I
about this
remember our
later, but I
babies.
like that's one of the reasons that I think that's what makes holidays
Yeah.
so special for me, is because I remember how it
Mhm.
felt for me, you know what I mean, at all of those ages. It makes and then it also helps to it makes it shows you and it makes your family unique. Cause
Mhm.
like, hey, the Nelsons, we dressed almost identical all the time. We dressed
Yeah.
identical on
Yeah. That was y'all
Sundays.
thing.
You know what I mean? That was our thing, you know. And so and then like, you know, Dawn's family, they do something different. And
Mhm.
then now our family unit, like
Yeah.
we do
We do
something
something
different.
different.
But and I think that's what's special about families, right?
Yeah.
And then it helps kids. And I saw this and I thought it was pretty dope. It helps kids to develop parenting skills.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the kids get to see the matriarch and the
Okay.
patriarch. They get to see mom and dad.
Yeah.
They actually get to see all of the roles at one time, you know?
That's real good.
You know what I
That's
mean?
real
And
good for the
so I think
holidays.
that's really, really why, you know, holding family traditions and showing up for the holidays is so important.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really think about how it's so important, the holidays and traditions, is because that's the one time that we're more consistent with being with each other. Like throughout the
Yes.
year, you'll find times where, say someone plans something and it's kind of like, oh, well, I can't, like a person or two can't
Such and
make it. And
such
you're just
can't
like,
come.
man, I just wish. But it's the one time I feel like people kind of prioritize family more and will make themselves get together. Besides, because let's just say it.
Yeah.
The only other time that we will, no matter what, work or not, we will get together is a funeral.
Yeah.
Like people take off and all this, but it's like that's obviously in the end we turn into a good time because we're reminiscing, we're having good times. But in the beginning, it's very sad. So the holidays for me is from the very beginning, it's just a good time. So I think about that.
Yeah, no doubt. And honestly, when you bring up the funerals thing, it
Hmm.
actually does make me, when I reflect on, you know, kind of seeing family for the last time during a funeral, it's like, dang man, that sucks. Like, but I was able to we were intentional about like being off work,
Yeah,
or not even so much being off work. It was just one of the things where it's like, all right, I'm not doing this. I've got to do
yeah,
this. I got to go to the repast. I got to
yeah,
go, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And those are things that we can do
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis,
Yeah,
right? And so, but the holiday kind of is a better or a more positive motivator to do so.
yeah.
Right. And so I think we were talking about traditions now, right? The
Mm-hmm.
importance of traditions. Like, yo, like I said, hey, the holiday time is like it's so special to
Mm-hmm.
me. But it hadn't been for a long time. But
Oh
we
yeah,
won't even go to that right now. We're gonna talk about how it's so special. Because like it's so much so that as soon as Halloween's over, I'm kind of glancing over at Dawn, like, hey yo, can I put the tree up yet?
he
You know what
does.
I mean?
He's that person.
Yeah,
He's
like,
absolutely that
hey,
person.
we working on 3 trees now, 3 Christmas trees.
Yeah, I remember Harper just asked for one, so that's gonna be 4.
Yeah. So but
No, 5.
why? Is Zoe's gonna want one?
The basement,
Well,
the
we got one in
main
our
level,
room too.
and then as I said, the
Yeah,
loft, the
yeah,
bedroom, and then Harper's.
yeah. We trying to be home and garden network worthy
Oh, absolutely. What?
for
Run
sure.
through my crib and be like, "Oh my goodness."
HGTV, come look at our house.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but
Goals.
yeah,
Goals.
absolutely. And it is all birthed from like my childhood
Uh-huh.
and your childhood, right? And so I was telling Dawn as we were reflecting the other day, like I always loved like the process of driving to my grandparents' house
Mm.
on my mom's side. She lived in Joliet, so it was like a 4.5 hour drive. And
Mhm.
my favorite part of that drive was once we got to the outside of Joliet and we had to cross the bridge. The other thing that was special was like the temperature. Like so down here, like in St. Louis, we
Uh-huh.
have the most
I was
bipolar
about to say
weather
random.
ever.
Yeah.
Today it could be 80. Tomorrow it could be an ice storm. The next day we could just be raining all day and flood. Then the next day they just do it all over again. But you know, once you go upstate, especially like around that Chicago area, around November, December, it's absolutely snowing. And so like I used to love seeing the snow, the music, the Christmas music playing, and then walking through the door and you can see like my grandparents and the Christmas trees up, and like you can see like the presents and stuff. And it's just like such a special feeling. And so like I want to recreate that. And this is even like prior to, well, I wanted to recreate it even more when Harper got here, right?
Yeah.
But like I love the whole process of putting the tree up.
I mean, like he really,
Oh, for
like
sure.
I didn't know. He told me that like he would love it, like so much so that he would get annoyed with his siblings
Yeah,
because they
I
were, as they
like
got older, they were doing it, but they
my
weren't like,
sister and brother probably really don't like putting up Christmas because I was like, I'm like, I'm really stern about the things that I'm really, really serious about. And like, I have to work on that,
quite good to hear it.
but she helps me with that. That's it's even how I coach though,
Because I'm
it's
just
like,
here to support.
yeah. But yeah, nah, but like, I love the claymation movies. Like, hey, comment below, like, what's your favorite claymation movie? Right?
None.
Talking about Santa Claus Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman, the like all of them joints. Love them. And so like I'm putting Harper on, right? She just watched Home Alone 1 and 2. Like we're gonna just be watching. I'm just trying to instill the holiday spirit in her little heart.
So let me just get to mine. Let me just start
What's
off
up with
with
yours? Yeah.
no to claymations. Like I'm gonna make sure I go to the comments and say it myself because I just want to make sure the people
No,
they heard it here, but I just want them to hear it again.
Something wrong with you, G.
No to claymation, and just like beside my comment because I'm speaking for all the people that's like.
That's
what?
because she was watching BET.
No,
Like
I was not raised off
on
what?
every day except Sunday.
Wow. First of all, so I'm just gonna tell my mama you talked about the way she raised me.
No, I'm talking
Yep.
about you.
Nope. I'm gonna tell
You
my
was
mama.
sneaking.
No, I was not. Anyway, so
Right,
for
I'm
me,
just
for real,
playing.
it was that what warms my heart is always, always, always will be going to my Aunt Flossie's house.
Yep.
And it's funny because when I say her name, yes, when I won the Olympics, they said, "What do you want to do to celebrate?" And I said, "Go to my Aunt Flossie's house and have dinner." My whole family comes. And it is just, it's where I feel at home. It's where I feel accepted. And for me, it's just where literally the love flows. I love when I'm there, just listening to all the childhood memories, right? Talking about what they did when they grew up, like things their mom and dad did, things that like talking now about what we did when we were younger, things that we didn't remember. And then I love the white elephant gift. So white elephant gift is you put a price, put a maximum on the price. So you say $20, right? We don't even really go that high, but say it's $20, and everyone there brings one gift. And then when you're there, we write down if it's 10 people, it's gonna be more. But if it's 10 people, you write down numbers 1 from 10.
Yeah.
You pull from a hat, and then you pick your gift in that order. And the first person picks a gift, you're stuck with your gift. The second person, now you can pick up the gift, but if you like what the first person had, you can go and take their gift and give them the gift you chose. And then it just goes on from there. So if you got number 10, you like, I got 9 gifts to choose from. I'm popping. So somebody is getting their stuff snatched.
Some gifts be dope, right? Some be nice gifts.
And I'll be like,
other
I was gonna
gifts
get
be
that.
like
But it's
really,
gotta
really,
be. You gotta have some janky ones.
gimmicky, right? Like so, like I know one time we brought what did we brought like rolls.
Yeah.
Like,
and I remember one time somebody brought
and
a
they
pack
was excited about it.
They
though.
were.
So
Somebody
it was
brought a
like
pack of batteries, and people were like,
they
I
fighting
need
with
them batteries. Because, like, yeah, first of all, we grown now.
light
like,
bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, like, for me, it's just like I am a family person. That's what I do. That's what I.
When you talk about gifts, like I think about like my mom. Like, so my mom has like
This is
4
cool.
sisters. Let me see. Auntie Vanessa,
Yes,
Auntie
it's 5
Frankie.
of them. So she has 4
Auntie,
sisters.
yeah, she has 4 sisters. So what they do is they all give each other a gift, and it's always, whether they're in town or not, it's always delivered on time. And then they get on like the phone or video chat, and they all open up like their gifts at the same time and explain the reason behind it. I think it's super dope, and I think that's something like you was telling me, and I was like, nah, that's super cool. Like me and my siblings, we're gonna start doing that as well. Because like right now we're all in the same space, but that's going to change. But I want this tradition to start so that it could just travel wherever they're going to go. So yeah.
Yep. So the people that tradition.
Yeah, so like I know like we're talking about
Yeah.
family and traditions, but the reality is not everybody has family,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or they have estranged family.
Yeah.
And I know for myself for period, and there's probably a lot of people that can relate. Let me know if you can relate. But the holidays before me and Don got
Yeah.
together had took a turn because around this time, um, my grandfather passed away, and I found out while I was at work, and it
Mm-hmm.
like put a damper on like the whole season, like that whole period, because again, the holiday season also meant that I got to see my grandparents that were 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
hours away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of my grandfather passing away, a couple of years after that, my uncle, it's like that's my heart. My uncle, he had a stroke, around the Christmas period. And I remember spending the whole Christmas time,
Yeah.
like from prior to Christmas to New Year's in the hospital with him, just watching this robust, strong man, like just struggle, somebody that
Mm-hmm.
I like, he's been a pillar in my life. And so it really shook me to my core.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't until like me and you started dating, which was kind of around, like we started dating around Down Harper Day, October the
October.
6th. You know what I'm saying? Down Harper Day, she got her own holiday. We're gonna talk more about that on what I'm saying? We do got a video up about it, but
Oh yeah, that's true.
Down Harper Day, we started dating and everything like that. And it kind of like lifted my spirits. But um I have a post. It's a quote that kind of talks about holidays and that are for those people that's not really bright sunshine and rainbows, right? So it goes, holidays are the worst. Just a lonely reminder that I have no family. Friends are all busy with their families, leaving me trapped alone at home for days with constant reminders of what
Mhm.
should be. Right.
That's heavy.
And it's heavy and it's a sad reality, but as an adult, we have the ability to change that.
Yeah.
Right. And so we can write our own stories if we don't have family or if we're dealing with like loss or grief,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
grief is a bull. It's a
Yep.
bully. It shows up whenever
Yep.
and when you least expect it. However, because of those things that kind of shape or change the way the holidays are, being more intentional, like be more intentional and show up for the holidays for yourself,
Yeah.
right? So doing things like, watching movies like those claymation movies that are so amazing,
It's okay. Y'all don't have
right?
to do that.
Or just Christmassy movies. Like my aunt, she loves watching Hallmark.
Uh-huh. My mama.
Chime in
Ooh,
if you watch
and
Hallmark,
Mrs. Thing.
all doors.
Yes,
Yeah,
buddy.
watch Hallmark, or like take part in the festivities or the festivals that are going on around it. So if you're sporty,
Mhm.
there's always a 5K or some kind of run that takes place around the holiday season every year.
Yeah.
Um, um, meeting up with new people,
Yeah.
right? It's a dope story. I don't know if you remember, but like this older white lady, she sent a message. She sent a message to what she thought was her son, but she sent it to the wrong number,
Okay.
which was a black guy, a young black guy, and she
Okay.
was inviting him to like the holidays,
Mm.
and like he just showed up,
Oh, that's
right?
funny.
And like it turned into this like thing, and so
Yeah.
now he's married, and so him and
Oh.
his wife come, and I think they have a kid now, and so like they become family
It's
because of that.
it's funny. I was gonna say, like, during this time, if it is difficult, take that step or that leap, because oftentimes you will have someone that says,
Hey, come
hey,
over.
like, what I mean, come to my families, come to my
Mhm.
family. And I know in your mind, you're like, it's just gonna be one big clique of people that know each other. And I'm like, no, listen, during the holidays, it is something special about people, or about people being very open and wanting to know, what I mean? Just like, yo, if you're in this house, you're now, if you're Nelson, you now Nelson. Like you're, what I
Yeah.
mean? You're Nelson slash whatever your last name is.
And that's kind of
Like,
the spirit of the holiday
that's what I'm
season too, right? So
saying.
it kind of already lends
I'm
itself to
telling
like
you,
welcome
just
you in.
like
So
just take that
lean into
chance.
that.
Take that chance,
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so, do you have another?
Yeah, travel.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
try something new.
travel. Like, you don't have to fly. You can take the train. Just go
Mm-hmm.
somewhere different,
Yep.
right? Because it could a change of scenery can change things. Then my last idea is like volunteering,
Mm-hmm.
right? So around the holiday period, you always got these shoebox things where you fill in the shoebox and you ship it somewhere. You can go read to kids or give them bears. There's always a soup kitchen open or
Mm-hmm.
something like that where you can like kind of donate your time and your energy. And it's something about like giving back that
Yeah.
kind of like it,
Yeah,
it
I
does
agree.
something to you. Like you get to see how fortunate you are,
Mm-hmm.
even though you might be like going through this like funk. like recognizing that, hey, like it could be a lot worse, which can kind of change things, but it also gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, and I was gonna say that just makes you like, to me, I think of especially when you volunteer in just a small way, you're like, I'm helping the world be a better place. You know what I
100%.
mean? Like literally being there for someone on this day. And so what I love is that with the traditions and everything, like I said, all these warm and fuzzies that we have, it's so awesome. Like we have those, and we are now as adults, we're in control of what we want to keep and what we want to
Get
possibly
rid of.
adjust, right? Like we have little ones, and we're like, Harper has different interests. He have different things. Like, and it's just a new day and age from when we were younger to now. So it's different things to experience. And us saying like we want to keep so many traditions, then it's like we'll have to drop some of those and do something a little different. So here's the hard part
This
about
is
the
the hard part.
podcast.
Yeah.
Like really kind of saying like, I don't want to do some of those things. And like, how do I do that? Like, how do you
Yeah.
do that? Because let me just say it. With family, certain things we just trying to keep the same. We trying to keep the same. It's like it was flowing good, it looked good, it felt good. Why you mixing it up? You got married, bring one over here later.
Yeah.
But then it's like when you have two different sides, such as us,
Man, that
that
got two different sides.
yeah,
You know what
right,
I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
Like
It's almost impossible. And then you find yourself the holidays isn't quite as special
it's
because you're
work.
like, I'm tired.
It's
Like
work.
I am. We spent 2 hours here, but then we're gonna go over here for 3 hours. Remember we used to do that?
Yeah, so like
Literally
yeah.
split up one day. That was
Especially
stressful.
especially like Thanksgiving is like it's probably the hardest for us
Mhm.
because
Oh, yeah.
it's centered around
It
both of our mother's
often falls
birthdays,
on one of our mother's
right?
birthdays.
And so like Don said, we'll spend like the morning
Mhm.
at my parents' house. Like, so it's like, all right, now not only do we got to get there in the morning, but we got to wake up and we got to get there early enough to be able to spend
Mhm.
a decent amount of time so that they feel like that we're getting our, so
Yeah.
we can all feel like we're getting that
Yep.
time in, but then be able to leave like without that guilt,
Mhm.
to get to your parents' house to like celebrate,
Yes.
you know, the birthday and the holiday as well.
Yep.
So it was just like, and again, like you said, it's work.
It was so much work.
Yeah.
How do I say I want to do something different? How do you let the family know that part?
You have to respect the fact that like you are a new unit. Once you have a family, like, so it's different. It's different when it was just me and you. But now that
Mhm.
we have our own kids, like you are another extension of both families. And so basically what's going on is whereas Dawn had her family, I had my family. Now that we have a family,
Mhm.
we've created an extra family for both families, which is a beautiful thing in nature. If you like learn how to like kind of cultivate that, and it's going to be uncomfortable, like we're in this stage of the uncomfortable because
Yeah.
it's like, hey,
Very true.
like my mom says it a lot, but I don't know if she really like understands what she's saying, much like, a lot of things that we believe in or that we want to happen,
Mhm.
but we don't know what it looks like once we get that, right?
Yeah.
Because she's like, hey, have your traditions, create your things with your family, but what she fails to realize is, or maybe she doesn't, or she doesn't feel it yet. But what that means is we're not going to show up,
Mhm.
right? So we're not going to show up at the time that you
Yeah.
anticipate us to show up because I have a different obligation.
Yeah.
And so when you start a new family, the obligation, like, and this is the hard part that everybody needs to like kind of just chew on is, um, your family becomes more important,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Not diminishing the value of
Yeah.
my side of the family and your side of the family, but like just establishing that new like paradigm where it's like, all right, it's my family first and the
Mhm.
needs of my family while we still celebrate over here and we celebrate over there.
Right. I mean, and how I think of it is if, and just hear me out. If someone wants to be offended, you can absolutely pick apart what you just said of like, you know what I mean? Like my family comes first, or you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because I'm gonna just say it. I feel like the first time we were even talking and you said that, I was like, oh, that just sounds like, don't say it like that.
Yeah.
But even though I knew what you were saying, I'm like, that could just come across a certain way. And
Hmm.
so what it is understanding that we're in the process of growth. And now that we are a unit,
Hmm.
right? Like my parents have to understand that we are a unit and we're going to do something different. It's not like I love all the memories that I have. I love all the things, but understanding that you as the adults that used to be like
Hmm.
Our
They did
parents,
the same
you
thing.
did the same thing. You
Yeah.
started to do things differently. You said, okay, we kept some things, but then we did some things that were different, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, another thing that you may have to do is if you got some kids in sports, like you did when you were in high
Man,
school, you did sports that were during the holidays.
hey, I played basketball, and that's the beginning of
So
basketball
that's what I'm
season.
saying.
You know
So
what
it's
I'm
like,
saying?
so it would look different. It's about like not being offended, about that. And because honestly, think about this. All of us have kind of been in this space, especially if you're in a relationship, been in the space where it's a trajectory of like, okay, if you're married now, you started when you were younger, you were just a kid that went to wherever your parents, your guardians took you, right?
Yeah.
And you were there, you had a good time. Then eventually you got a little older, and then you're like, you know what? I'm kind of dating somebody. So then you start to bring somebody around, but you weren't really cooking or doing it.
And or you
So
go
you
to
just
their
house
house
hopping.
too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you a
but
house
you
hopper,
just house hopping.
for sure.
Like you had no real responsibilities. You house hopping.
Mhm.
Now we're at the point where, wait, we're married, we got kids. It's a whole different responsibility
Yeah.
of saying like,
It's
what
not
does
enough
it?
hours in a day
It's
for me.
just not. And then it's
Yeah.
like, damn. To be honest, also I want some food for my house. Like
That
I can
part.
still only bring so much because listen, one
So
person,
many
my
leftovers.
sister
Yeah.
brings so much Tupperware. Like
Yeah.
it's been times where we were like, you getting disrespectful. Other
Yeah.
people want to take food home. She be like, let me take out like 2, 3 pieces. Like the sister plans, okay? And so for real, it's like you can only bring home so much. Like if I want to have food for 3, 4 days,
Mhm.
it's Harper eats. So it's 3 of us that we
Yeah.
gotta, that's
And
a whole
Zoe and
meal.
Zoe's starting to eat solids too, and so like, and she don't care like whose food it
She
is.
does
In
not.
fact, she
She
hopes
is
it's
in
your
your
food
mouth.
because she will
Exactly.
eat it.
She's in your
And
mouth.
it reminded me of what I was going to say. The other reason why it's so important that you do like deal with like create your unit or respect or
Mhm.
honor like your unit is because eventually, just like your parents took over the traditions,
Mhm.
like the torch is going to be passed, and it's
Yeah.
important that you have something in place
Very true.
for the torch to be placed upon. And you're thinking
Mhm.
about the Olympic torch, like shout out to the Olympics coming next year. You know what I mean? But like the torch would be passed. And it makes me think about like when I was as a kid, because holidays was always either at my grandparents' house
Mhm.
or my other grandparents' houses or this person's house or that person's house. Once we stopped going to
Mhm.
those people's houses and we didn't go to those people's houses as much, we really didn't have anything
Yeah.
like in place.
Yeah.
And so we had to create it, but it was like kind of late to
Mhm.
some degree. And so like again, with your young family or with your new family, like create those so that you can so you have something firm for your children,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
We're not saying don't be with your family. That part right there,
Wait.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
We're not
yes.
saying don't be with your family.
Got
But I
that
kind
flow
of
thing.
said
You gotta
it
work on
though.
flow
You know what
thing.
I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said it without like, yeah. So like again,
Wait.
like we ain't saying like don't show up and say no. Like because again, that's what it's all about. It's like about being with family and everything like that. But it's also about establishing where your family is at this juncture.
And let me
Right.
just say this, like, I have this written down, but I'm like, I need to say it from the heart because I actually felt like I kind of mourned it a little bit.
Mm.
Like, it can be hard in this time of like, we know we like I said, we're a union and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because I'm like, things will never be the same. And I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed the holidays as a kid. Like,
Mhm.
for those of you like me, like, I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, we're married and stuff, but can we just go to my house? It's like, no, like, I absolutely love his family too. And I love hearing like all their traditions and the things they did. And
Yeah.
Lonzo was like this, Dominic was like this, Nietzsche. So it's like, I love it, but it is never going to be the
I
same.
think that's a harsh reminder too, right? Because it's like,
Mhm.
bro, like
I know.
I love Christmas. I love the holidays. When you say it doesn't mean it won't be the same. Like I like legit like
Yeah.
I miss seeing like my grandmother and my grandfather,
Yeah.
you know. And I wish that he could have met you
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and like Zoe and Harper,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that house, nobody lives in that house
Yeah.
anymore. So it's like,
yeah.
so like again, like it's bittersweet. It's definitely super bittersweet. And like, like you said, being just going to your mom's house, right?
Mhm.
Or like me going to my parents or my grandparents' houses, you know what I mean? It's like that doesn't exist no more because
It
we
doesn't.
grown.
Yeah,
Now
we
we
grown
gotta
though.
cook.
I know, which
Like
is cool and
everything. We gotta
everything, but
cook
I'm like, I was trying to eat
everything.
your food. But let me just say this. So let's
And
just so since you said
since
that,
I said cook. Yeah.
can I say it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We say all the stuff about family. Family is great.
Yeah.
But the holidays is about that food because food slaps. Like it is.
So pause right fast. This is so funny that she said the word slap because she don't even talk like that.
I don't. But
Who
when I
are
thought
you?
about food, that's what
Who
I'm saying.
is
That's what
this
the
person?
holidays do to me. That's what the holidays do. It's slap. Listen, so I'm gonna tell you right now, because I told last night we were talking about this. I was like, I asked you, do you know like my two things I gotta have? It used
Yes.
to be what?
It used to be your mama's dressing. No, it
No.
used to be?
Yeah.
What
So you don't know what it used to be. It used to be
nah.
deviled eggs.
Oh, yeah, I know
Used
you
to be
like
devil.
deviled
See,
eggs,
see,
yeah.
deviled eggs. What is it now? You know one thing.
Your mama's dressing.
Always.
And probably like, what is
always.
your sister's macaroni?
Yes, boy, we
Yeah.
are
For
married.
sure. Come on
I
now, I'm
probably
me.
bust the mic when I said that. We are
I'm
married.
me. All right, so what do I look forward to the
Oh, don't
most?
do that. Don't test me. Okay, everything. You eat so much food. No, okay. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You like desserts, but
Oh, she failing right now.
no,
What
like
do I
real
what do I
food.
must have for Thanksgiving?
Want your aunt's dressing? I don't know. No, real talk. Your plate looks a mess, so I don't know.
It don't look a mess. It's
I'm gonna
beautiful.
already say, oh yeah when you say them, but what?
It's the chicken and dumplings. My mama's chicken and
You
dumplings.
did say that. No, hold up. Miss me.
What?
Does she kind of always make that, or does she be playing around with it? I feel like she don't always make that.
So when I ask for it, she makes it the way I want.
Don't make
That's
it seem
what I
like
be wanting.
every year, every holiday. Listen, no. I'm saying no. We've been together 10 years, so I got at least 10 where I'm like, don't make it seem like Thanksgiving and Christmas, it has not always been in your plate.
Yeah, all right. So it's time for you to learn something.
And no, but I was gonna say this. No, but I told her I need to go and watch her make that, because I do know that you absolutely love her chicken and dumplings.
Absolutely love it. Yeah. So chicken and dumplings.
Good. The first time I ever had it was, and then she tried to listen. First time, Mrs. Nelson.
I think so. Go ahead.
The first time I ever had it, it was so good. Like it was really good. Like it was one of them like, we can add this to the tradition. Then because I was still competing and training for the Olympics, I know what it is. I know why she did it.
That's what I was finna get at.
She's like, well, I remember her telling Alonzo, well, she's training and stuff. She shouldn't have, all these heavy foods and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So she goes, well, I'm going to try I found this different type of flour.
Yeah, she was gluten-free.
Yeah, gluten-free this.
Like
and then she was like, well, I'm going to change. She changed so many ingredients.
It didn't give what it was supposed to give.
I was so mad because I'm like, I've had what it was.
Yeah.
And I got this. I want what it was. I don't eat bad all the time. And I'm saying bad, but I don't eat like this all the time.
There's
Give
your
me what I
disclaimer.
want.
So look, check this out. Family members that are trying to support other family members that are like,
don't support me then. Like, give me what I want.
Hold on to that tradition. Don't let it go.
Don't let it go.
Don't let it go. Don't change the sugar. Right?
Drop, if you put this much, hold on, you pouring?
Use that flour.
I need that much next time. Don't sprinkle.
Use the bleached flour.
Listen, I'm so excited to
Because so here's the thing.
How much weight am I to put on? I don't know.
Well, because for us, it's just one day, one weekend, 1 week maybe. Right. Let's keep it a buck, right? But then after that, we go back into our
absolutely
whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And plus we got the ability to say no. Right.
Very true.
Let us say no, but don't mess up the platter or the spread for everybody, because you're trying new things. Like holidays ain't the time to try new things. Right.
I want all of it.
Ooh, since we're here. All right. There's three. There's a don't mind this is my football thumb finger. All right, so there is 3 pies that go together. Well, they competing, right?
I don't know which. Okay.
Sweet potato pie.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie. And bean pie. It's my new favorite. All right. In the comments, which pie is your favorite?
Or
I did a little. So I'm a school teacher. I'm a school teacher, and I teach at a suburban school. I teach a suburban school.
You can still, my opinion matters.
And
Ladies,
I quiz my students.
Opinion matters.
I quiz my students.
Especially because you're going to probably be baking it.
And it seems that more white students, they like pumpkin pie.
They do vote. They do vote.
Rock with pumpkin pie. And I'm a black student, love sweet potato pie. So y'all tell us, which pie is y'all pie? Oh yeah, speaking of pies, my favorite is my granny's apple pie.
Which granny?
The one that just passed away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Granny. So we got to ask your aunts and stuff. Yeah. Who knows how to make it just like her? Because I need to learn how to make that thing.
Yes, please.
Okay. So listen. We touched on some things. It's still so much about the holidays that can be so touchy.
We're not pros at this, but we're figuring it out as we go. We're just giving y'all what works for us and what's working for us and what's going to work for us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes, it's going to work.
In Jesus' name.
Oh, hallelujah. Amen. So listen, look, in them comments, let us know again some of the trials and tribulations you've had during the holidays, but also like what works for you.
Mhm.
Tell us about some of those childhood traditions like we shared
Do y'all
that
dress up
just make
like we do?
listen, cause
So,
listen.
like,
So look,
boots wise, like, shout out to my brother-in-law that got me
yeah.
these, but, like, these boots, like, I gotta get some new brown shoes, and these just happen to be my boots, so
So look, I'll bust these boots, but you better know that I put on my Christmas socks by the time or holiday socks by
yeah.
the time I get my plate. I'm not staying in this the whole time. But no, real talk. You guys just had real talk with the real Nelsons. So please like, subscribe, and comment.
Let's see those comments.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.